my babies. Sock Monkey here, and we're going to talk about this wonderful card, the Queen of Swords. This is the only queen that you only see her in profile, which is important, and we'll talk about that in a sec. She's sitting on her throne. The throne has a cherub, but also a butterfly. She's, of course, holding a sword, and there is a cut rope on her wrist. There is a bird floating above her. So that is what we see, and let's talk about that cut rope. Let's think back to the Eight of Swords, where that person was bound, but their feet were not bound and they could easily walk out of that pickle. Well, this Queen of Swords is so wise, and she has used her sword of wisdom to cut her binds, and now she can see things clearly. I put the rope in the form of a question mark. She was confused, but she is no longer confused. She has the answers. Now, there are clouds because, of course, the swords is associated with the element of air. But our Queen of Swords, her head is high above the clouds. She sees everything quite clearly. She is not at all muddled, or her view is not at all complicated by those clouds. Let's talk about the butterfly. In order to become the Queen of Swords, the queen had to transform herself from someone who had doubts, perhaps, about themselves, into someone who was quite confident in that they have the wisdom to lead and that they have the answers. The Queen of Swords is a little bit difficult to get to know. When this person comes up, the Queen of Swords, you might be talking about someone who is quite independent, perhaps single, perhaps a widow, but they are very, very strong. We talked about that bird, and quite honestly, this could mean wisdom. And I have chosen to illustrate the most wise bird that I could think of, the owl. So when we look at that single bird above her head, let's think about how wise the Queen of Swords is. And of course, when we talk about swords, we are talking about someone who is very, very intelligent. We talked about it with the page. We talked about it with the Knight of Swords, and now, of course, the Queen of Swords, super, super smart. So there we are. This is the Queen of Swords. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like this card. Swords are tricky. They're tricky business, but this queen has worked hard, and she has come up literally on top. I love you to pieces, my babies. Pull those socks all the way up.